Tonight we're learning more about the standoff situation that sent Legends Casino into lockdown this morning.
And warmer temperatures are taking grip with a shower or two possible tonight. I'll get you prepared in my first alert weather forecast.
Plus, we are highlighting a local court process that is specifically designed to help veterans get back on their feet.
Now, KAPP local news at 5.
Good evening, I'm Alyssa Warner.
And I'm Jason Valentine. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. We begin with thousands of dollars owed to Franklin County. The auditor's office recently discovered county commissioners were given unconstitutional payments.
Franklin County Auditor Matt Beaton says in 2016, Commissioners Brad Peck, Bob Koch, and Rick Miller approved salary increases that weren't legally reviewed. So where'd that money come from? Well, employees of the county can opt out of health benefits and instead receive added cash to their salary. This ordinance was voted on after the 2016 election, which then goes against the Washington Constitution.
It really is important that we not be so close to the line. And in 2016, clearly there was an error, and we have a responsibility to recover that money.
Now, Beaton says this is being treated as a loss, not fraud. The matter has been passed on to the Washington State Auditor's Office as well as the Franklin County Prosecutor. And you're going to hear more from Beaton explaining how this all came to light coming up tonight on KVEW Local News at 6. But for right now, Jason, we have to talk about the weather. It's been feeling stormy out there.
There is a little bit of precipitation out there, and we could see storms tomorrow evening, brief storms, and Thursday evening, and then Friday morning. But we're also going to see, like today, quite a lot of sunshine intermixed. It's a little of everything right now. We're kind of transitioning from the bad spring to the good spring, and we're kind of getting all of it at the same time. Let's take a look outside at our Giza Stadium sky cam. Again, some sunshine trying to get through today. We do have just some minor shower activity in the Yakima area and just to the east of Yakima. We could see just a little spritz come through tonight, but better chance will be tomorrow evening and as we head into Thursday evening. But like I said, we're going to see plenty of sunshine as well. Overnight tonight, as we settle down, we're going to be in the mid to lower 50s across the board tonight. And as we get into tomorrow, more sunshine is on the way. Highs in the mid to upper 80s as we warm back up. 76 right now in Yakima, not as warm as we expected today. Tri-Cities area just at 70, but that sunshine is trying to come through. So folks, get ready for a warm Wednesday ahead, but a big change. 25 degrees less than we're looking at tomorrow for your Friday. I'll have your full forecast. It's coming up.
The Yakima County Sheriff's Office is investigating the county's 16th homicide this year after a young woman's body was found in rural Mabton on Sunday. Detectives say a property owner on Farm Lane discovered the body after following what he called a bad smell on his property. He called 911. An autopsy confirmed the victim was a young woman in her late teens or early 20s who died a few days ago of a gunshot wound to the head. Authorities believed her body was dumped at that location. They say she was killed elsewhere. What they don't know is who she is, and that is a big challenge for investigators.
Until you really identify the victim, then you can't really start following up with where were they last seen, who were they last with, you know what I mean? All those kind of things. So right now the focus is really to get the identification and confirm that.
They are trying to identify her using fingerprints and dental records. If that doesn't work, they can try using DNA, but that often takes a long time to find a match.
Legends Casino went into lockdown for several hours this morning while authorities were in a standoff with an armed man nearby. Deputies were responding to a call about a man sleeping in a vehicle near the casino with a visible firearm. He reportedly refused to get out and held the gun in his hand. They tried negotiating, having family members talk to him, a YPD K9, and less than lethal munitions before they were able to arrest him. He's now potentially facing firearms and resisting arrest charges and was also wanted for robbery and assault in a carjacking case earlier this week. Well, we continue to track developing news out of Texas, where dozens of law enforcement officers are searching for a 38-year-old man accused of killing 5 people Friday after a neighbor asked him to stop shooting a gun in his yard. Investigators say the suspect is in the United States illegally and has been deported several times before, most recently in 2016. Investigators say they don't have much to go on, and they're hoping that reward posters will convince people to report sightings of the suspect.
This morning, the federal government announced a huge international crackdown on the dark web that officials say is the largest operation of its kind. They arrested almost 300 people, more than half of them here in the United States, confiscated more than $53 million, and took almost 2,000 pounds of drugs off the market, especially synthetic opioids.
Drug traffickers are increasingly turning to the dark web to sell illegal drugs in exchange for cryptocurrency. The drug traffickers are confident that by operating anonymously on the dark web, they can operate outside the bounds of the law. They are wrong.
Officials say for the first time, they also reached out to people who bought drugs on the dark web to tell them in person about how dangerous it is to take pills that don't come from a pharmacy, since all too often, those pills are actually a deadly dose of fentanyl. Now, Washington's current drug possession law will expire on July 1st, unless the governor calls a special session of the legislature to create a replacement. That uncertainty has a lot of cities taking action on their own. Spokane City Council is moving forward with a proposal that would make it a misdemeanor to use controlled substances in public. As it stands right now, police have to refer someone to rehab multiple times before they can make an arrest. Spokane City Council is set to hold a final vote on their proposal next week.
A very special event took place at Benton County Courthouse this morning. The Benton County Veterans Therapeutic Court celebrated 2 graduates. Veterans Court is a voluntary program created to provide support to qualifying veterans that are involved in the criminal justice system. Charges are dismissed following a completion of the program and graduation. Treatment involves mental health, substance abuse, and medication management, monthly forums, completion of community service, and regular contact with a veteran mentor. One of those mentors, Lee Williams, says the Benton County Veterans Therapeutic Court is one of the rare ones who have the mentor program.
And the mentor kind of walks beside a wingman or a battle buddy to walk beside the veteran and say, before you do something bad, call me and let's talk about it, and walk with the person through that. And the different experiences, say, okay, remember that pride you felt when you raised your right hand and said, I'll support and defend the Constitution. Remember that. That's still in you, and it can still come back out.
Christopher Poland and January Wells completed the long and intensive program Tuesday. The court announced they were the 49th and 50th graduates from the program. Eric Andrews, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney of Benton County, was one of the founding members of Veterans Therapeutic Court in the county. He also had a very special day in court. It was his last day, filled with some tears, but mostly laughs.
Sorry, I knew this was going to be tough.
You need a hug?
Yeah. This is maybe the greatest team ever assembled. I mean, honestly, it doesn't work without all of us together in the room working out solutions for people.
All of this with the goal of regaining stability in a veteran's life while learning skills to ensure they avoid future involvement in the criminal justice system. Congratulations to Christopher and January.
Absolutely. Now, Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson has taken the first step towards running for governor. One day after Governor Inslee announced that he would not run for a 4th term, Ferguson released an exploratory campaign ad. Now, he's been the state attorney general since 2013. The gubernatorial election is coming up in November of 2024. And Oregon's Secretary of State is stepping down. Shemia Fagan has been under fire because she took a job making $10,000 per month as a consultant for a marijuana company. Now, while Oregon does allow state officials to have other jobs, this has been controversial because the company was a big donor to Fagan's campaign. The Secretary of State's office is in charge of auditing the Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Board, which regulates marijuana companies. Fagan says she purposely stepped away from that most recent audit because of her consulting job in the industry. This morning, she released her plan to resign effective Monday, saying she's confident that the ethics investigation will show she followed the state's legal and ethical guidelines, adding, quote, "It is clear that my actions have become a distraction." Fagan says she has also quit her consulting job. And at the national level, there's a renewed push to regulate the Supreme Court.
Traditionally, the Supreme Court justices have been responsible for enforcing ethical standards on each other. That's come into question recently. Now Congress is looking to take action, but it's not clear if they even have the authority to intervene. ABC's Lindsay Watts is tracking that debate.
While the justices are fine with consulting with certain authorities on how to address ethical issues, they do not feel bound by those same authorities. And because the court will not act Congress must.
The Supreme Court is the only branch of government without an enforceable ethics code. And Senate Democrats are ratcheting up calls for unprecedented new requirements for the High Court.
Only Supreme Court justices refuse to allow their conduct to be investigated or reviewed.
Ethics concerns have been swirling after reporting on financial ties between Justice Clarence Thomas and a wealthy GOP megadonor. Thomas has denied any wrongdoing. Republicans accuse Democrats of having selective outrage toward conservative justices.
We're going to push back as hard as we can and tell the American people the truth about what's going on here. This is not about making the court better. This is about destroying a conservative court.
Chief Justice John Roberts declined to testify at the Senate hearing on Supreme Court ethics. He did provide a written response, highlighting a judicial committee that helps justices comply with disclosure requirements and ethical guidelines. Roberts says he's not aware of any instance of a justice in the committee failing to resolve an issue. Democrats have an unexpected ally in their calls for ethics reform. Retired federal judge Michael Luttig, a prominent conservative and former advisor to Vice President Mike Pence. He submitted written testimony saying he believes there's no constitutional obstacle to Congress legislating a Supreme Court ethics code. Others, though, testified that the Constitution is clear on separation of powers.
It is the Supreme Court and not the Congress that has the constitutional prerogative to decide whether to adopt a formal code of conduct governing the individual justices.
The Supreme Court is unanimous on this issue. All 9 justices signed a statement pushing back on new rules, saying they adhere to a voluntary code of conduct. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
And one retired federal judge told lawmakers it wouldn't make sense for the Supreme Court justices to follow the exact same code of conduct that applies to federal judges, but he believes the Supreme Court could adopt a modified version.
Well, right now, Congress is stuck in a stalemate over the budget and the debt ceiling. We hit the debt ceiling, which is basically the government's credit limit, months ago. The Treasury has been moving money around, but now Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is saying that's not working as well as expected. She says the government may go into default as early as June 1st. The Republican-controlled House approved a budget proposal that would increase the debt limit, but Democrats control the Senate, and the majority leader says that bill is DOA.
This is not a plan. This is a hard right-wing wish list that everyone knows has no chance of passing.
You've got a choice between accepting the House bill or entering into a discussion which the Speaker's been trying to have with the President for some time.
President Biden has invited congressional leaders from both parties to the White House for a meeting 1 week from today. And many Democrats, including the president, are calling on Republicans to pass what they call a clean bill to increase the debt ceiling by itself and then figure out the budget later.
This certainly comes up, every year and a half?
It's every few years.
Yeah, every few years. So anyways, we'll keep you up to date. Let's take a look outside. And again, we're starting to see a little bit of sunshine indoor evening hours, just like yesterday. We have a lot to talk about. Warm temperatures, some showers, and cool temperatures as well. That's coming up next.
And the Writers Guild of America is on strike. That could have a big impact on your favorite TV shows, but not KAPP. We're talking about that next.
Coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, we'll introduce you to the 2 new graduates of the Benton County Veterans Therapeutic Court. Plus, it's going to be a beautiful Wednesday, but Riley Fitzgerald is tracking some changes in the coming days.
I was 34. I was a business owner. I was a single mom with a 4-year-old, and I felt a lump in the shower. I have cancer. It doesn't have me. I'm gonna get rid of it, and then I'm gonna go on with my life. I was gonna do anything that it took. I did, and here I am, almost 10 years later. I had a little boy. He needs his mom.
It's the Great Northwest RV Show this Wednesday through Sunday only at the Hapo Center. Save big with special show pricing on motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and more. All of your favorite brands under one roof. Tiffin, Newmar, Rockwood, Grand Design, and more. Hundreds of new and used RVs to choose from. Get ready for spring adventures now. Don't miss the Great Northwest RV Show Wednesday through Sunday at the Hapo Center on Burton Boulevard.
time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away to the place that's not so far away, Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
Zendaya, J-Lo, Rihanna, and single Giselle's first Met Gala without Tom. Extra is all over the Oscars of fashion.
From the carpet to the party to the after parties.
And all the hot couples. Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on KAPP.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
COVID-19 restrictions officially end across the country next Thursday. And among other things, that means changes at the U.S.-Mexico border. Loosening restrictions are expected to prompt a surge of people trying to cross illegally. Today, the Biden administration announced it will send 1,500 soldiers to the border. Officials say those military personnel will do things like data entry, warehouse support, and other administrative tasks so that U.S. Customs and Border Protection can focus on field work. Tonight, late night TV is going into reruns as the Writers Guild of America is officially on strike.
Negotiating time over their contract ran out last night at midnight. Depending on how long the strike lasts, we could see bigger and bigger impacts. Chris Wynn explains what's at stake.
The Writers Guild of America says the rise of streaming and the shortening of traditional TV seasons are making it difficult for members to make a living wage.
They're spending more money than ever on making these shows. They're making more profit from them than ever. But writers are making less money. They're employing us for less time.
The strike comes as many media companies have seen their stock prices decline, prompting cost cuts and layoffs.
What Wall Street is demanding now is profits.
Late night TV shows will see the first impact because they rely on writers in real time. Many of those hosts are expressing support for the writers.
These are our writers, and I'll stick myself in there because I'm WGA too, and they're so important to our show.
No one is entitled to a job in show business, but for those people who have a job in show business, they are entitled to fair compensation.
The strike could also delay the start of new seasons of other shows later this year.
What you're looking at is sort of shows that you are anticipating a season coming up with in the next few months could be delayed as much as a year, if not more, depending on how the strike plays out.
I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
And of course, there is no word on how long the strike could last. The Alliance of Media Companies says it offered generous increases in compensation for writers and that ultimately they are fully committed to reaching a mutually beneficial deal.
Well, new tonight, Australia has banned recreational vaping. They also tightened some of the other aspects of e-cigarette regulation. Australia already has one of the toughest anti-smoking laws in the world, and these new regulations mean that you will have to get a prescription in order to get an e-cigarette and only to help you quit smoking.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Tuesday. It's not Wednesday yet. It's Tuesday. Good Tuesday evening, everyone. Starting to see a little bit of sunshine coming out throughout many of our areas after quite a bit of cloud coverage early today. Sun trying to come out, but we are warming up, just not as much as we thought today, but we're definitely going to be warming up into tomorrow. Some stray showers tonight, but more stray showers Wednesday and Thursday leading into Friday. I'll get to that in a bit. We do have that hot Wednesday ahead. My goodness. So just a hint of shower activity moving through the Yakima area. We could see just a little bit coming through our areas in the next couple of hours. But as we move into our overnight period, we're going to be settling down. But as we get into our Wednesday, especially Wednesday evening, we have some shower activity, possibly just kind of buzzing us. And then as we get to Thursday morning, a little bit of shower activity as well, especially in Yakima and Toppenish. And then a little bit more substantial showers Thursday night. Could see some thunder and lightning with these bands, and that will persist into our Friday morning. And that is going to usher in that big downturn in our temperatures and upturn in our winds. So currently we expect to be cooler along the Blue Mountain region. We're in the mid 60s. Other than that, we're just getting a little bit warmer, oddly enough, the more west we go. Look at that, 80 degrees for Ellensburg. So a little bit flipped, just a little bit cooler than expected. But as we head into tomorrow, we do expect mid to upper 80s for all of our areas. Bit of a cool down on Friday, but then from tomorrow into Friday, my goodness, that is about 25 degrees cooler. So just get ready for that big cool down to come. and we're going to be well below our average as we head into our weekend and into our next work week. So enjoy the warm temperatures, or enjoy those cool temperatures if you enjoy those as we get to our weekend. So winds, we're seeing a little bit of double digits, especially in our northern areas. Other than that, we're pretty much light. We do expect to be light into tomorrow. Thursday, we'll see it pick up 10 to 20 mile per hour, and it looks like right now 20 to 30 mile per hour winds for our Friday. And then we'll see some pretty blustery conditions as we stay cooler for our weekend. So folks, a lot going on. In our overnight period, we are seeing a little bit of cloud coverage, and overnight lows, though, staying very nice. We're in the mid to lower 50s. Again, could see just a shower or two in our early evening, but other than that, we'll be looking very dry overnight into tomorrow. So tomorrow, we have a chance of some scattered showers, very quick if they do come to your area. Better chance of a little bit more sustained showers will be Thursday night into Friday as we look to see those cooler temperatures, and it could be heralded by some thunderstorms. Just like we saw last night, Yakima, Toppenish, Ellensburg areas, we sure heard it in the Tri-Cities. Mid to upper 80s pretty much across the board, a little cooler for Pendleton and Ellensburg. We should see mostly sunny skies. Should be a very nice Wednesday. So as we move into Thursday night into Friday, that's when those showers are going to be coming. Again, could see a little bit of thunder and lightning, and all the way down to 63. We right the ship a bit, but still well below our average for the Tri-Cities in those mid to upper 60s. Overnight lows taking a dip as well, but only to the 40s starting late Friday night. So changes are on the way. Just do get ready for that tumultuous Friday and really Thursday night into Friday. Yakima region, 86 tomorrow, down to 79 for Thursday. Pretty much what we saw today. 63 by Friday and mid-60s into our weekend. My goodness. So folks, we are going to be getting a bit chilly, especially compared to what our average is for this time of year. We're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees below that for Friday into the weekend. But tomorrow, definitely the hottest day of the week.
Thanks, Jason. And up next on KAPP Local News, the U.S. Surgeon General has declared a new public health epidemic. This one, though, is a little more nebulous than a virus.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
KFC's Wednesday Country Fried Steak Meal is a delicious value, complete with mashed potatoes with gravy, coleslaw, and a biscuit, all for the incredible price of just $5.99. Really, what's left to say? How about see you again next Wednesday? Country Fried Steak Meal, just $5.99, only at KFC.
Watch me. Watch my first step turn to leaps and bounds. Watch me play carefree while the world goes round. Listen to me join in with every girl and boy. Screams of happiness, limitless joy. Watch me run through the grass and sand. They said I would, now I can. Watch me. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
An accident can shatter your life. At Tamaki Law, we put your life back together.
As a personal injury attorney, I meet some of the best people under the worst of circumstances. They come to us suffering. They completely depend on us. That's why we work hard and fight for the justice they deserve.
If you've been seriously injured, call Tamaki Law and get your life back.
It's the Great Northwest RV Show, this Wednesday through Sunday only at the Hapo Center. Save big with special show pricing on motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and more. All of your favorite brands under one roof. Tiffin, Newmar, Rockwood, Grand Design, and more. Hundreds of new and used RVs to choose from. Get ready for spring adventures now. Don't miss the Great Northwest RV Show, Wednesday through Sunday at the Hapo Center on Burton Boulevard.
Steps to a brighter future with Merit Resource Services.
When you are in need of substance abuse disorder treatment and your burdens are too much to bear alone, Merit will help. Our experienced and certified staff offers support recovery for all in need by providing access to quality assessment, education, integrated treatment services, and co-occurring services for substance abuse and behavioral health needs. Merit Resource Services, where we believe in recovery for all.
Our phones keep us constantly connected. But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? To limit screen time, but not quality time. And to give us rhythm instead of algorithms. Introducing Us Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
I remember when you get a whole meal for $5.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
Oh.
And every Tuesday at A&W, where single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. The good old days are here again. A complete meal for just $5. Tuesdays only at A&W.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, trending tonight, the U.S. Surgeon General says loneliness is a public health epidemic that he says is potentially as deadly as smoking.
That's serious stuff. Now, declaring a public health epidemic doesn't free up funding or start any new programs. The Surgeon General says he's hoping the declaration will raise awareness and get people thinking about how to be more social. That could include everything from individuals getting off social media and then going and joining a community group in person instead, or businesses rethinking their remote work policies, even doctors learning how to recognize the health risks of being lonely.
All right.
More socialization is good.
Yes, less social media, I guess.
I guess that's the point.
We'll finally get weather after this.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Tonight, the warning still in effect it could bring historic spring flooding, the race to protect homes and businesses. Plus, is First Republic the last of the bank failures? More Americans turn to the most watched program on television, World News Tonight with David Muir.
Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, just the two of us, just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I.
The LG Wash Tower. Redefine laundry in half the space.
My mom hired a bath fitter to make me a new bath. My friend Jimmy said that when he got a new bath, it took forever. Jimmy didn't have to take a bath for a month. I didn't even get to miss one bath. It's just not fair.
Bath Fitter will remodel your bath in as little as 1 day. We've got over 2 million satisfied customers and 35 years experience. Call now or visit bathfitter.com for a free in-home consultation.
Stan, who is that?
Okay, Roy, I went to the basement, found a weird portal, went through, found myself in a prehistoric valley, talked to a couple dinos, told them about Triple Play. They wanted to check it out. Here we are.
Wow!
Hi, Roy.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, like bowling, Raptor Reef Indoor Water Park, and a brand new zip line ride, all attached to a cozy hotel.
She'll leave whenever we're ready.
I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman, hustling in for the new DQ Summer Blizzard menu? Oh, 5 iconic flavors here for a limited time, like new peanut butter puppy chow.
Wow.
And s'mores is back.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right.
Hey guys.
Wow.
The new DQ Summer Blizzard menu. Hustle in before it's gone.
DQ. Happy tastes good.
I was 44, working part-time. It was my first mammogram, and they found a few cancerous places in my left breast. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't feel sick. I didn't have a lump in my breast. There was nothing. I wasn't afraid I was going to die. My first fear was, how am I going to tell my daughter? As a result of early detection, I didn't have to do chemotherapy. I just did surgery and radiation. Was able to maintain a good quality of life, and now it's a distant memory.
Join us at Geisa Stadium on May 17th for the second annual Salute to Seniors. At 12:30, enjoy an all-you-can-eat and drink buffet before catching the Dust Devils action at 1:30. Don't miss out on this fun-filled day celebrating our beloved seniors.
Welcome back. We're taking a final look at your forecast. There's just a lot happening in the next couple of days.
There's a lot happening. We're going to be so much warmer tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. Let's take a look outside at Toppenish on our Skycam at the Legends Casino. Just beautiful day or evening. We've seen quite a lot of cloud coverage and cooler temperatures than expected. We're about 5 or so degrees off. But tomorrow, mid to upper 80s, plenty of sunshine, maybe a stray shower or two tomorrow evening. But Thursday evening, we have a good chance of seeing some scattered thunderstorms into Friday morning as we cool down by 25 degrees in our highs from Wednesday to Friday. Big changes on the way.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. KAPP KVEW Local News is back at 6.